even when when people are talking, from my colleague from other divisions, say, yeah, Dubai, the business is going down and this and that. And I say, guys, yes, you're right. I mean, the business is not as hot as it used to be, 10 years ago. But with all due respect, we are still running, mid-70s and high 70s in occupancy, and we are still running XYZ on the rate over there. So, you don't even do half of it. So please do me a favor, before you start to criticize what Dubai is doing compared to what it used to be before, even in your best years, you don't do even half of what we are doing. Because when we do a GOP, at 35, 40%, okay, it's not the GOP that we used to do at 45 and 50. But how many countries can still deliver 35 to 40% GOP? Very few countries can. So stop complaining over there about what we are doing here. Why don't you just work harder to do exactly what we are doing? And then you can talk about it. Oh, that's interesting. That's a question that you should ask my boss, actually. I would say that 2019 has been a transition year for us. For one very simple reason is that numbers of property which were supposed to open will be slightly delayed. I'm sure that you have heard that from all the people that you had interviewed. But the business is not that easy. However, the business is there. So 2019, good year overall. Could have been better if the property will have opened on time, but whatever was not happening in 2019 will definitely happen early 2020. So far as I'm concerned, 2019, good year, but transitions could have been better. And 2020, excellent year for us. We will open the remaining hotels plus Expo 2020, which I'm sure that we will tackle later on. For one customer who can stay in a 5-star hotel, you have 100 customers who cannot afford it. If we want to reach the 20 million tourism that Dubai expects to have by 2020, we need to build infrastructure which will accommodate this mid-market and below. And it is no doubt that you will see more 2-star and 3-star hotels coming up on the market. No doubt. And these 2 or 3-star will not have only to be in the remote locations. They will also have to be in some of the most predominant locations in Dubai, in order for the people to move around easily without having to rent a car. Or, in that respect, we need to do some thinking, and I know that Dubai is doing that because I've been part of some forums and we know that things are moving forward. But yes, we need to be able to accommodate people which will be 3 stars and below if we want to reach the 20 million. We don't have new important market, but we have new niche market coming up in Dubai. If you take, for example, the Indian market, or you take the Chinese market, what it used to be 10 years ago and what it is today, it's absolutely crazy. Okay, the Chinese market represent pretty much what the Russian market used to represent for Dubai, 5 years ago. So it is extremely important. They are everywhere, and not only in Dubai, but they are growing and growing and growing. So we know that it's a new mass market which will be coming to Dubai. Then after that you have some new niche markets, obviously on the top of the traditional, how should I say, the developed country which have been supporting obviously Dubai tourism quite actively. So the big one will definitely continue to be definitely the Chinese and the Indians, or the most relevant one. Then you have Europe. More flights are coming from United States, and that's quite interesting. But when you look at the numbers of flights that Emirates is doing for direct connections over there, it is a small market. It is a niche market, but it's coming bigger and bigger. You will have certainly more destinations also coming from the eastern countries, and I'm not only talking about Russia. Well, the pipeline for Swiss-Bel, I must admit, in the region is quite nice. Okay, we are going to open, for example, I was going to say before the end of the year, but maybe with the first quarter next year, we are going to open 2 hotels in Kuwait, 2 hotels in Bahrain. We are going to open a hotel in Mecca. We are going to open a hotel in Muscat. So basically, we are going to open 7 hotels, and all these 7 hotels should be open before the end of the first quarter 2019. Additional to that, obviously, we have a lot of hotels under constructions in Egypt, in Africa, in the GCC, because that's where we are looking at the moment. But the list will be quite long, but I'm sure that it was already provided. Knowing Dubai, like I know Dubai, I've been here in Dubai for the past 7-8 years now. Dubai always a plan A and a plan B. And this is why even when we are facing some challenges, we know that Dubai is always rebound. No doubt about it. So Dubai Expo 2020, of course, everybody has a question mark. What will happen after that? Well, first of all, they have a plan to reuse some of the buildings and to create additional space. So, DTCM can talk about it much better than I do because they are much more aware than I am. But one thing is sure is that whatever Dubai is building as an infrastructures will remain. The airport, the hotel, the rooms, the roads, the malls, the attractions, that will remain. So we should not only look at Expo 2020, okay, it's going to be 6 months over there. This is already a very peak period for us, October to March. So you may wonder why making that in that particular period. But Expo 2020, it's only an X-ray in the life of the city. It's just a flash. What is the beauty is what is going to remain after. And as I mentioned, all the road, the museums, and everything will remain. And that's what is going to be excellent for us. What is the question mark that many people will have is that, okay, if we reach the 165,000 key that basically Dubai is saying we'll have by 2020, what will be the impact on the rate when you have so many keys after obviously the expo is done? Okay, it's a $10 million question. Honestly speaking, I don't have the answer. But we have been under pressure before, and we'll have a different type of pressure later. It doesn't mean that basically we should not be realistic. We know that we are going to face some tough time. But when you have faith in the country, by doing the business the way that they are doing business, you know that you have some good days and bad days. Okay, at the moment, it's not exactly the best day that we had. Are we going to get the good days that we used to have in 2008? The answer is most probably no. But doesn't mean that basically you still cannot have good days again. Maybe not as good as it used to be, but definitely you will still be able to get the business. Investors are still coming up over there. We have a very decent return on investment for our owners. And there is no reason for not being optimistic. If you are not optimistic, don't come in that business. Challenges are exactly the same as my colleagues. We know that the business situation worldwide is not that easy at the moment, and obviously the Middle East is, having its share of its problem. So, yes, the business have been challenging. We also faced some delays in the project, which obviously as an operator is important because if the project is not open, we don't get our fees. So it is also an issue. Maybe also the bank are a little bit more careful by providing loans to owners and developers, which also delay some of the project or some of the openings. The situation in the Middle East is exactly as we know it, so we have a perception also from outside, which is not always easy for the people to understand. I am French. I'm from Paris. I know what security is about because we have our own problems over there. And honestly speaking, I feel much safer in Dubai than anywhere else in the world. But that's not always what the media are showing when they talk about the Middle East, and the people don't make the difference about Dubai, Kuwait, Cairo. Middle East is Middle East, Arab is Arab. Okay, and that's something that I must admit Dubai is doing a very good job in terms of promoting their destination as the safest place, because it is certainly one of the safest places on earth.